So here we are again. Hello everyone, welcome to Rosemary's Kitchen. As always, I have my spirit guide Grey Eagle, who is standing by my right side. And as I've talked to you before about inviting people into your kitchen, I am once again going to invite my daddy into the kitchen with me. He's going to love this little part because he did like a drink or two, not too many, but he did like a drink or two, and especially at Christmas time. So I'm inviting my daddy into the kitchen with me as well. When you're in the kitchen, you can invite your loved ones from the spirit world, and they'll always, I'm sure, be willing to come and help you, or just stand and watch, or even perhaps if you're making cookies, put their finger in the bowl so they can taste what you're making. So as I promised this morning on Rosemary Live, I'm going to talk about limoncello. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it quite correctly. This is a drink which originated in Italy. It's something I discovered in Italy many years ago, and this is something that I like to make, and I like to make it ready for the Christmas or the holiday times. Although of course it's always nice to have it all through the year. Limoncello is typically made in the south of Italy. I know I'm going to get lots of emails from people saying, no, we make it in the north, we make it in the west and the east as well. But typically, I found it made in the south of Italy, where a friend of mine, an Italian friend of mine, assures me that most good households keep a big bucket in their cellar or somewhere, you know, out of the way, and they keep it going. They keep their limoncello going, and they, you know, make their own. Of course they grow lemons, so they just go and pull them from the trees. All right, so if you want the recipe, the proper recipe, the exact amount, you're going to have to wait for the book. Although there are lots and lots of recipes on, you know, all over the internet you can find, but I like this one because I created it myself. So here we've got something around 22, maybe 24 lemons, and they are organic lemons, and it's important to use organic, because if they're not organic, they often have a wax over them. You don't want to eat that, trust me. So you want organic lemons where the lemon skin is nice and clean, and you want to make sure that they're thick-skinned. They're easy to find in some places, not so easy to find in others, but persevere because it's worth it. And what you do is you get a potato peeler or a vegetable peeler, nice and sharp, and you peel the lemon rind off of the lemons. Now it sounds horrendous to have to sit there and peel 22 to 24 lemons, right? It seems like a lot, but it's very easy. Once you get the knack of it, it's very easy to do. The trick is make sure that you don't get any of that pith, any of that white pith on the lemon rind, because that's not good. That'll turn your delicious liqueur very bitter. It'll give it a very bitter taste. So if you're peeling away and you happen to get some of that pith on, that white pith on the lemon rind, just get a knife, a sharp knife, and just scrape it off or cut it off. It's fine. So in here we have, I don't know, almost, not quite, but almost 2 liters of pure 100% alcohol. It's actually vodka, 100 proof vodka. It's important that you get 100 proof. 22 or 24 lemons, I don't remember which. And I don't know if you see this wonderful jar that I've got, but I bought this in an antique shop a while ago. It cost me, I think, $20 or $25 or something. It was full of buttons when I bought it, so they tipped the buttons out, and I bought this, gave it a good clean out. It's an old-fashioned thing, a nice, you know, good solid thing, and it's got a nice lid to it. And if you notice, I'm going to put the lid down here, and if you notice, I put, I have to tell you, the smell of the lemons is so powerful and delicious. I just put some cling wrap, cling film, whatever it is you call it, sarin wrap or whatever, over the top, because I didn't want any of this to leak out. I didn't want any of the alcohol to evaporate, so I not only put the lid on, but I put this on as well to make sure. Okay, so now this has been sitting here for over 6 weeks, just sitting nicely by itself. Occasionally I've taken the thing off and I've got a nice wooden spoon here and I've stirred it and put my nose in it because it's just delicious smelling stuff. And then you just leave it to sit nicely, and it's nicely fermenting. The alcohol's nicely fermenting in the lemon peel. Then today I made what they call a sweet syrup, or a, you know, whatever you want to call it, which is simple syrup, which is simply water and sugar, and you put the equal amount of alcohol, water, and then I put 3.5 cups of sugar in here, and some people like it sweeter, some people like it not so sweet, but anyway, there are 3.5 cups of sugar in here, and I boil up the water, dissolve the sugar. It's nice. I mean, if I showed it to you, it just looks like water, but it's called simple syrup. So that's all it is, sugar and water. You cook it until the sugar has completely dissolved and left no granules anywhere, no trace of granules. Then you cool it. Now it's important that you cool it. Don't use it while it's hot, because hot water is going to, straight onto this alcohol, is going to burn off the alcohol. We do not want that. So this is what I'm going to do now. The smell is going to become nice, delicious, and I'm just going to ladle this. I'm going to give it a stir. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm going to give the lemons a stir. There we go. Look at all of this. Now when I put this simple syrup in, what should happen is, I don't know if you can see inside of that. Let me tip it up there like that. What should happen, you can see the alcohol sort of gone a bit sort of brown and discolored looking, which is good, because it means that all of that stuff in the lemon rind has gone into the alcohol. I think that's a good stir. When I put this simple syrup in, it should turn cloudy. Do not worry. I always, if you notice, I've got a cloth under the pan, because that stops the pan from slipping as I'm doing this very delicate, not really, job. And I'm going to pour that in. And now I could just take the saucepan and just pour it in from the saucepan, but I was a bit afraid that I would pour it too eagerly and spill it. And as you can see, I don't know if it's turning cloudy yet, but if you sort of watch as we go along, you might see it just starting to turn colour just a little bit. Let me move that out of the way and you might be able to see it better. Now I've just, there we go. Now I've taken enough of it out so that now I'm not afraid of slopping all over the place. I'm going to just lift the saucepan and just pour the rest straight in like this. And there we have it. And I'm going to move this out of the way. We're going to give it another good stir. Oh my goodness. If you were in this kitchen now, you would be dying in ecstasy if you like lemons as I do. And give it a nice good stir. And you can just start to see now, it's just over the next day or so, it's going to sort of start to look sort of, it's starting, I don't know if you can see it, but it's starting already to go a bit cloudy looking right there. I'm trying to pull the lemons out so you can see. So when you do this, don't be afraid, because it's going to, as it sits there, it's going to get really, really cloudy looking. And when it's finally finished, it's going to sort of look like a smoky colour. There we go. So, all right, so there we have it. And I'm going to put this back on, because again, I don't want any of that liquid to evaporate. And we're going to totally ignore it. And this on the top. leave it for another 6 weeks. So altogether, it's going to take 3 months, 12 weeks. You can make it and not leave it for half that time. Some people only leave it for 10 days before they put the simple syrup in. Some people think a month's enough for the first and a month's enough for the second, but I like to really get stuff infused. So it does mean you've got to start early if you want this for Christmas, and I'm not sure, you don't have time. If you're looking at this video and you want to make it now, you don't have time for Christmas, but maybe for the new year it might be good enough, who knows. So we're going to do this and then leave it for 6 weeks, and at the end of 6 weeks we're going to put it through a strainer, and then I'm going to take the liquid, which will be the limoncello. We're going to take the liquid, put it in a bottle, and of course it's vodka, so it means we can freeze it. We can put it in the freezer, keeps it nice and cold, but it will never freeze. I don't know if any of you know that you can put vodka in your freezer, keeps it really, really chilled and good, and it never freezes. So this is going to probably make maybe 2.5, maybe even 3 liters, or maybe more, we'll see, of limoncello. Limoncello, L-I-M-O-N, limoncello. Now, if any wonderful Italian person out there is watching this and has a really old homemade recipe, please send it to me, because I'm always wanting to know more and wanting to learn new stuff. This is my improvised version. We shall know better in 6 weeks' time when we have a tasting, and we'll come back to you then to let you see the finished result, and maybe we'll be cooking something else and drinking the limoncello at the same time. So thank you for joining me in Rosemary's Kitchen. I'm going to say thank you to my spirit guide, Grey Eagle, and thank you all for watching. Please join us again next time in Rosemary's Kitchen. God bless you. Thank you. Oh my God. She's as bad as the others. Here, try that.
I just think it's funny. Sometimes
What's
my conversations with my mother, I sound like Samantha. And then there are times that I have conversations with Megan and I sound like you.